Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video we're going to be talking about Goyo. Now Goyo is an operator where his 4 canisters are actually really broken in the sense of how much time they burn. So what I'd recommend, and the concept that you guys should understand when you're playing Goyo, is that you need to be going for time burn scenarios for pushes that actually matter. Like placing the Goyos in places that are going to matter for the enemy team if they try to go for a specific type of push. Now, I'm going to center most of my Goyos on this first clip on border for the Archives Rush plant. Now, the idea here that I'm looking for is that I cut off one of the default plants on the doorway with one of my Goyos. The key point there is that I didn't put my Goyo on the doorway itself, because then they would be able to shoot it out right away by just breaking the barricade. I put it on the doorway of the Archives door, and the reason why is because most people, when they try to go for like a border Archives Rush for lockers attack, they're going to want to plant right on the doorway. So the play that I'm going for is to put my Goyo on that default plant. And then the other default plant that some people like to do is they like to plant next to the window, specifically on the hard right of it. But I did put an extra one like right on the like actual window itself, because some people are weirdos and they would probably plant there if they see that my Goyo is on the other default spot. You know what I mean? So that's going to be my hard counter for that. Now, the key to remember is that you're just trying to delay time. This will just let your team be able to rotate. Now, right here, I'm actually going to get a call out for one of my teammates that there's a guy on the AC window. I actually heard the guy make like a little hole into that window while I was playing inside of Archives. By the way, this is my preferred position to play when we play this Lockers bomb site, is because I like to play for these head holes for office, because then I can swing aggressively. And then also what's going to end up happening here in a second, there's going to be a buck that's going to open east staircase here to try to like make holes to peek me in this position, but I'm going to swing aggressively, use the really busted vector with the ACOG to get myself a free kill on buck as well in this position. But this is going to typically be like the main area that I prefer to play. Technically you could play over by lockers, but I feel like this is my preferred location to play, because I like being able to take my gunfights in these like long range gunfight areas, and also being able to shut down for the Archives Rush. Now right here, I'm actually going to go for a play where I'm going to essentially look to vault through this east stairs. And the reason why I do this is because, first of all, it's going to be very unexpected for the enemy team if I rotate here. Now, they actually have a punch hole on 90 here. I'm going to go ahead and just pre-fire this guy to get a free kill. And then what's going to end up actually happening here is I'm actually going to make a prediction here that the next people that are going to peek me are going to peek me through security. And instead of playing this very common angle, I'm going to actually swing wider and hold the Dokubi like that. And then we're going to swing back towards 90 to look for anybody looking for the refrag, which is going to be the Thatcher in this position. And we're going to get a free kill on him as well to secure the round right there with the ace. Now, like I said in the last clip, next up we're going to be over on Oregon. We want to be placing our Goyos in places that is going to deny the enemy team from planting in particular. So right here, we're going to put one on the default plant inside for Oregon here. The next one we're going to put up on this little like shelf on, or desk, I mean, for inside of games as well, because this is the other alternate plant location. Usually people don't plant here as often because there's usually white head holes. And then we're going to put another one on the trophy doorway. This will be good just for late round, because technically a lot of people like to bunch up on a trophy doorway. So no matter what, that one will probably be useful no matter what. We're going to put a proxy for attic. This is to prevent people from being able to walk up in attic without us knowing about it. So we put a proxy there to make sure they don't have that play. Now, honestly, in this clip, I'm not actually going to use my second proxy until way later on in the round. However, one thing I do want to quickly mention is that you could put your other proxy on white stairs. I'm going to go ahead and put a Goyo on white stairs in this position. Now, I should have put this on the other side, in my opinion. And the reason why is because I'm hoping that the enemy team will shoot the Goyo for white stairs, so that way it'll buy us time. But I do think you should put it on the other side of the white stairs wall. Now right here, I'm fast forwarding through this clip a little bit, and the reason why is because what's going to end up happening, someone's going to rappel up to kid's window. I'm going to get audio for it, so I'm going to basically hop up on the attic stage here, and then I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively for kid's window while that guy's rappelling up to look for a kill and get myself a free kill. Fast forward through this round a little bit. The other thing I want to talk about when it comes to Goyo is sometimes you'll be in positions like this, 3v2, 40 seconds left, and what you should do though is that if you do have a Goyo, you should just go ahead and pop the Goyos early. And the reason why is just because it's going to burn most of the enemy team's time away, which means that they're going to have very limited time to use to actually be able to contest for the rest of the round. So long story short, in this position, this buck has to swing. There's not really much other option, and it's going to be like a panic swing by him as well. So I'm going to be able to swing aggressively, use that ACOG once again, and get myself a free kill to secure the round right there. This next clip's kind of funny. We were actually playing like a really compy champ stack way back in the day. This is actually a pretty old clip, actually, to be honest with you guys, but the same concepts still apply when it comes to Goyo. Now, in this clip, I'm actually going to be using Bulletproof instead of Impacts. Now, the reason why Bulletproof is also good on Goyo is going to be when you're playing inside a site, in my opinion. Now, when you're roaming, I do think that you should be using the Impacts because it's going to help overall with your roam. Now, what I'm going to actually do with my Goyos is a slight mistake. What I'm going to end up doing is going to be, I'm going to put 2 Goyos on K9 doorway. Now, the thing about this is it's not necessarily a mistake, but I do feel like in general people like to play this position. But the other mistake that I'm going to make here is that I'm going to go ahead and put my Goyo canisters as well onto the K9 half wall as well. Now, I should have put these actually on default so people couldn't plant on default itself. So that's the mistake that I'm going to make with those 2 Goyos. However, I do still feel like the same like idea applies though, where you're going to be able to essentially use those Goyo canisters to burn a lot of time. Now, the stack that I am playing with in this clip though, they're not really the type to play half wall in the first place. So technically, these Goyos are going to be good for this round in particular. However, what is going to end up happening here is that my team is going to be roaming over by library side, which is good on paper. However, they're going to end up overstaying their welcome, and they're going to end up dying really early on in the round. At this point, the enemy team's job in this position is just to go ahead and open up the main wall, which is what they're going to do. They're going to use Twitch to get rid of my Goyos, unfortunately, which is going to be one of the few counters that you do actually have for Goyo canisters. And what's going to end up actually happening here is the only way for us to realistically win is we have to prevent the enemy team from walking into default in this position. However, what's going to end up happening is someone's going to charge through piano here and kill my Ella, who is right next to me. So I'm going to have to swing aggressively to get a refrag. Gorilla actually shoots at me from the main wall in this position, so I'm going to swing the piano head holes to kill the planter first. And then what we're going to do is after we kill that planter, we're going to swing aggressively for the gridlock on the main wall because he's looking for the cover for Ace, obviously. He's obviously going to look for the refrag. Then we're going to tap the diffuser, and then we're going to swing aggressively for the last guy who's the Twitch that was on K9 who got rid of my Goyos early on in the round. We're going to swing aggressively, use that really strong vector with the ACOG, and get ourselves a free kill to secure the round right there. Here's some quick rapid fire tips that I wanted to give you guys. Where I've got 3 clips for you guys here for some easy kills with Goyo. Right here is going to be a nice little run out that you guys can do over on border. This one's pretty well known, I feel like. But long story short, all you're doing is waiting for a little bit of audio of somebody outside of this balcony, and you swing aggressively to get yourself a free kill. And with the vector, there's pretty much like no chance that they're surviving. The other thing I want to talk about with Goyo as well is with the impacts when you're on a roam, is especially on maps like border where there's a lot of soft walls, you can do plays like this where you impact a soft wall and swing aggressively to get yourself free kills. A lot of times people won't even have time to react. And in this last tip is going to actually be an Outback exclusive one where we're going to put a Goyo on the picnic double door. Now, for this specific round, this Goyo is actually not that good. However, one thing I do want to talk about to branch off of this idea of what actually happened for this round is that if you put a Goyo on the left or right side of that picnic double door, what's going to end up actually happening for this clip is there's going to actually be a guy that's going to rush this picnic double door. He's actually going to charge right through my Goyo fire here, and he's going to run right into picnic. Now, the concept that I'm thinking of here is that if you were to put a Goyo on the left or right side of this double door, if someone walks into picnic, you could pop it, and logically they're going to go behind this grill inside of picnic, so you're going to be able to wallbang to get yourself a free kill. The next time we're going to be playing over on border once again here. I'm going to go ahead and place most of my Goyos on the default plant. Now, I am going to use one in my pocket here, and the reason why is because I didn't actually have time to place all of them. I could have put my last one actually inside a site if I really wanted to save time, but all I do with my Goyos on this round is I just put them down for most of the default plant positions, basically, just to make sure the enemy team has to go through the Goyos if they actually want to go for a plant. And I think this is how you should mostly play Goyo. Now, there is a world where you put your Goyos around you when you're going on a roam, but for this specific round, I wasn't going to actually like roam like that. The main play that I was actually looking to go for this specific round was that I was going to go for a spawn peak over here, and I'm going to fast forward through this because basically the idea is that I'm either looking for someone to walk up on my balcony so I can swing them aggressively like earlier on in the video, or I'm waiting for them to come out the gate over by the valley spawn, and then I would run out to swing that as well from this doorway and to get myself a free kill. Now right here, the enemy team is actually not really pushing this side like whatsoever, and we can tell they're not pushing this side of the map whatsoever because they're not shooting the default cameras. So by process of elimination, the only logical places that can actually push in this moment is going to be site window, east stairs, archives door. Now the thing about that though is that my Jaeger's on the east stairs, so that means that they can't be on east stairs, so they have to be playing office, they have to be playing archives in this position. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to swing aggressively for 90 hallway here. We're going to end up getting 1 kill for free, and then we're actually going to end up injuring this knock here on the hatch. We're going to impact the fountain wall, swing aggressively to get the last kill in this position and secure the round. Always keep a mental note, boys. That's my best tip I can give you guys. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe.